Hey folks, if you enjoyed what you hear, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, click the bell for notifications. Also consider supporting us on Patreon for exclusive perks, and check out our Arts and Media podcast, Words Like That, on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Alright, now shut up and get to it.
Can't have no words like that. Words like that. No, no, no.
Alright, into the show. This is Beetlejuice, trailer number 2. I've already saw trailer number 1, didn't do a reaction. I'll talk more about that at the halfway point of the trailer. Let's go.
When you're all driving carpool and your Pilates instructors to fill the empty voids in your life, we'll see who gets the last laugh.
Very much filled in the Winona Ryder character. Her daughter, I'm presuming, in the story.
My mom grew up here, that old house on the hill.
Wait, the ghost house? Is your mom Lydia Dietz?
Unfortunately,
She's a legend.
The living, the dead. Can they coexist?
Now's my chance.
ghosts aren't real. Only gullible people believe that kind of crap.
I can't believe I'm doing this. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Wow. Okay.
I need you to help me save my daughter. But how do I know that you're gonna keep your word?
I swear on my dead mother's soul. Jayess. Bob, you.
Alright. Stop it right there. Okay. So, quick thing. I just watched the original Beetlejuice for the first time. I did a full reaction on it. It's available on Patreon. It probably won't be available on YouTube for a long time, if ever. I'm hoping it's going to get cleared and we don't get threatened with copyright strike and all that. But anyway, I had, however, seen the first trailer to this before I had watched the Beetlejuice movie. And when I saw the first trailer to Beetlejuice in theaters, I was blown away. I was like, this looks really good. I know essentially nothing about the original Beetlejuice at that point, but this looks incredible. I bet if I had seen the original movie, I would be really, really into this trailer. So after I watched Beetlejuice finally last week, I went back and watched the first trailer to this, and I did like it even better. As much as I loved it the first time, I liked it even better having now seen the original movie. This second trailer, because we've already had the teaser, which was really, really well done, really effectively done. They're just jumping in, and they're showing you kind of some plot points, what's going on, getting some character dynamics as opposed to the teaser, which was just giving you a taste, just giving you a lot of visuals, and you didn't get any dialogue. I don't think there was any dialogue until Beetlejuice actually showed up at the end of the trailer, and he says, "The juice is loose," which was phenomenal. Now, with this, we just jump in, we get that it's Winona Ryder's daughter, which I kind of deduced, I deduced from the first trailer that's what we were supposed to get. That was her daughter. And she's kind of got the same vibes, the same disrespect for normal people. She seems to be an outsider, an outcast like Winona Ryder was in the original movie. But then we find out that she thinks her mother, Winona Ryder, is a nut for believing in the supernatural, which is an interesting flip. It's like she's the same character in some ways, but complete opposite in other ways. And that sets up a nice conflict between her and her mother, obviously. In the trailer, we saw when Beetlejuice materializes in the model of the town, in the first trailer, we saw Winona Ryder close up, that she's like in shock, and I got from that maybe the daughter had conjured him. And it's possible that earlier in the movie, the daughter conjures Beetlejuice, and then Winona Ryder sends him away, and then she has to reconjure him to go rescue Jenna Ortega, who's playing her daughter. So far, the setup looks really good. What was interesting to me about the original movie that I wasn't expecting, I thought Beetlejuice was the hero. I didn't know he ended up being the villain that everybody kind of had to come together to defeat. So now that I know that, the idea of a sequel takes on a whole new meaning, that this is somebody you can't trust. This is not a good guy. He's a terrible person. And I didn't know that previously. So it's interesting that Winona Ryder is having to make a deal with him, kind of a deal with the devil type thing, to save her daughter. Looks interesting so far. Overall, I like the first trailer better because it didn't give too much away, and it just kind of hooked you in with just the visuals and the soundtrack. There was a great cover of Deo on that first trailer. And this one is a totally different bag, but it's supposed to be a sequel to the first trailer, and with a sequel, you can just go in and start showing things. That's what they've done here. So, yeah, let's get back to it, finish this thing.
The boys stand guard. Nobody gets through. Let's go, honey.
Recognize this puss.
Never seen that shit before in my life. Or afterlife.
Are we doing this?
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. I'm needed upstairs. Bob, hold down the fort. Spill your guts. Who wants to go first? All right, I will. See, I'm willing to do the work.
Swear the afterlife is so random.
You're that thing from my dream.
Really more nightmare material.
Confronting the unknown, conquering your fears. There's nothing harder.
Kevin O'Hara.
What the f? Thank you all for coming to this special occasion, but right now with like a little privacy.
Still trying to marry Winona. Suck through the phone, okay. Wow. Okay. So, having now seen the first one, which I did like, by the way, I didn't say that earlier. I think that come across as I was talking. I liked the first one. It wasn't one of my favorite things ever, nor was it one of my favorite Tim Burton properties, because it got a little too out there for me, a little too macabre. This one looks like this is going to have some of those same elements in it that's not going to appeal to me personally, just personal preference, taste. But the fact that the special effects now can really match the creative vision of Burton, what's in his mind, this weirdness, this fantasy world, I think in some ways this is going to surpass the original. It never will in terms of creativity and probably in terms of cultural impact. But even Burton's directorial flair has improved so much since then. It's been 36 years since the first one came out, and you could tell even that first trailer, Burton's sensibilities, his work with a camera has really improved. His framing has improved, and you combine that with the special effects, I think you're going to get a really, really good sequel to this. I'm thinking this may be kind of a Top Gun to Top Gun Maverick type deal, particularly for me personally, because Top Gun for me, I'm not a huge 80s guy, and Top Gun for me was like, yeah, it was a good movie, I get it, but there are elements to it that are a little too 80s, a little too outside my tastes and preferences. And then Top Gun Maverick came out. It was a great sequel, and it appealed to people who loved the original and also people who liked it but didn't love it like me. And I feel like this is going to be similar. It has the potential to be similar anyway. The only thing that gives me pause, it's got a September release date. And historically, when movies are put in September, that's a death month. It's like the studio doesn't believe they have the ability to compete during the summer movie season and bring a lot of cash in. And they're also not going to be prestige enough to be vying for awards during award season. That's changed some in recent years, that a September release doesn't necessarily mean a death knell for a movie or indicate that the studio doesn't believe in the picture. It could be more of a, well, we've got a whole slate of movies from these other studios, or maybe from the same studio, coming out all through the summer. Let's try to beat that. Let's be like an after party for the summer whenever there's nothing else there, and we can just dominate the box office for the entire fall. If you're gonna do that, though, I would almost think with the subject matter, this would have been a better Halloween release. And maybe they're trying to release it in September so it'll play all the way through Halloween, but movies don't usually have those kinds of legs anymore at the box office, so I'm just a little concerned about that September release date. May mean nothing, I don't know, but I'm probably going to go check this out in theaters unless this just gets really bad word of mouth that first weekend, because I don't know if I'm going to go see it opening weekend. But if audiences, fans of the original, aren't really digging it, I don't know. Also, Michael Keaton, I mean, he's embodying the character perfectly, like they shot this the next year after the first one. Just a phenomenal actor, and I love the fact that he's coming back and playing his old roles. He's already appeared as Batman, which I actually haven't seen the Flash movie. I want to, just for his performance, because before Christian Bale, he was my favorite Batman. Now, he may still be my favorite. I don't think he's the best, but subjectively, I think if I had to choose one to watch forever, it would probably be Michael Keaton. But anyway, I love how in his 70s, in his 70s, he's coming back and he's doing these roles that made him famous. Batman, Beetlejuice. And I've seen some interviews with him. He's just like, yep, having fun, collecting a check, loving it. So, yeah, probably going to go see this. What about you? Are you a Beetlejuice fan? Does this look appealing to you? Whether you are a fan or maybe you weren't a fan of the original, does this kind of draw you in? Because it drew me in without ever even having seen the original at first. So let us know in the comments, what do you think about this movie? Hope you enjoyed that clip. If you did, consider supporting us on Patreon for the full episode. Subscribe to YouTube if you hadn't already, and we'll see you soon.